The epistle reading begins, "Brethren, the word of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God." We must reflect on why it is that the Christian message is foolishness to the world, and yet is indeed the very power of God to us who are being saved. We know how it is that we came to this pass, this reality in which every one of us must face the inevitable truth that we will die, we will suffer, we will lose everything that is dear to us. This is the law of existence. Not because God intended it to be so, for He did not. He created us in communion with Him, in bliss, in joy, in everlasting peace. We submitted ourselves, subjected ourselves to this curse, because we chose to pursue what we wanted. We reached out and grasped it, and found that what we had grasped was like a poisonous snake. We thought it was precious and beautiful and good, and it proved to be a horror. We find that this holds true even now. We seek what we want, what we desire, what we think will please us. And inevitably, it destroys us. Any one of us knows this. From the child 3 years old who thinks he wants to eat every cookie in the cookie jar and suffers the consequences. To the oldest man and woman who desire long life and pursue it at the cost of everything else until they lie bereft of mind and consciousness in a bed with no one left to visit them. We pursue what we want, and it kills us. And we die. We cannot escape it, however hard we try. There is only one who ever lived who did not have to die. And He lies entombed before us tonight. Not because He was compelled, not because He was forced. He chooses to be where He is. He comes willingly to offer Himself on our behalf, to unite Himself with us, to show us that the way of grasping and grabbing and claiming and holding is wrong, but that the way of submission, the way of obedience, the way of loss, paradoxically, but absolutely, is the only way in which we can receive life. The Lord said to His disciples long before this day, "Whoever tries to save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for my sake will find it." And therefore He said, "Whoever would come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me." And they probably wondered, why a cross? What does a cross have to do with anything? And then they understood. Tonight, they begin to understand. The only way to life is through the valley of the shadow of death. But even there we need fear no evil, for God is with us there. Indeed, this service is the last service of grief. As soon as we conclude, the colors will change, the purple will leave, the white and the gold and the red will take their place. We are done with grief now. Because the Lord has said, teteleste, it is finished. He has given up his life. And as his body lies entombed, as God, he descends to Hades and he begins the conquest and the destruction of death and hell and suffering. Now we are waiting to see the revelation of this joy to us. May we wait with patience. May we wait with understanding. And may we embrace the foolishness of the cross, so that it indeed may become the very power of God to resurrect and transform our lives, and through us, the entire world. Kalianastasi. God be with you all always. Amen. The service tonight begins at 6 o'clock. May the Lord grant to all of you and your families the joy of his presence.